Hi everyone, I'm Ken from Crypto Trading KS. If you're new, welcome, and welcome back to our regular community. Let's run the numbers. Bitcoin currently trading at 48,149, down 2.37%. Ethereum 3193, down 3.95%. My goal is to assist you to be more of a financial blessing to yourself and create real wealth for you and those you love. I've hidden knowledge gems throughout this video. Unless you watch to the end, you'll miss them. See how many you can find. We can see basically the stable coins being a little bit green. The rest of the market is looking relatively red. Turning to KS zone analysis, the 4 stages that all investors and traders progress through to become consistently profitable and attain real wealth. The blame zone, zone 2, is a very frustrating zone to be in. People, when they're just starting out, they're in the fear zone. When they get the courage up to do trading and investing, they enter the blame zone. In zone 2, there's a lot of pain. Rule 311, turn pain into strength. There's the pain of missing out, the pain of not picking the bottom, the pain of not picking the top, the pain of so many different things, not putting more on when you think you should. There's a lot of pain in zone 2. Zone 2 pain includes not buying at the bottom, not selling at the exact top, not predicting how price is moving. When you get to zone 3, probabilistic fearlessness, you understand you can't pick the bottom, you can't pick the top, and you trade the sweet spot of the market or invest in the sweet spot. You don't worry about getting every single dollar and cent off the table. It's just not possible. If you desire to know the art of living, make use of suffering. Pain can be a very good indicator of something you need to learn more about. Each time you feel pain in your trading or investing, use it as a signpost to dig more deeply. There's a really famous quote, "Out of suffering have emerged the strongest souls. The most massive characters are seared with scars." This is very true. When you're in the market for a long time, or in life indeed, you get scars. You get a lot of them. I would suggest that they're battle scars. Be proud of your scars. Scars mean that you gave it a go. Scars mean that you stepped outside your comfort zone. Those scars are fantastic. They build character and the strongest of souls. When people are new to investing and trading, they get a lot of scars in zone 1 and zone 2. In zone 1, the scars are something, but in zone 2, they are scars that you try to blame other people for, and it's just normal behavior. Every single trader and investor has gone through the process. It's nothing new. It is a well-worn path. The problem with that, those scars are what make you so strong. When you take your scars, you learn from them. You push yourself across the divide between zone 2 and zone 3, and you come into the patience and rule zone. There's a lot of peace on that side. Probabilistic fearlessness is really important, as is knowledge and forgiveness. The forgiveness is not for other people, it's for yourself. Every time you make a mistake, it's easy to say, "Oh, I did the wrong thing, I shouldn't have done that." But how could you have known? If you were going to do the wrong thing, you can't time travel. It's really important to be compassionate and to forgive yourself. That's the way to get out of zone 2 into zone 3. Understanding removes suffering. When you understand what causes suffering, you're in a position to do something about it. You become empowered. That's what real wealth is all about. It's all about understanding and doing something about it. For example, a lack of fulfillment or meaning, a lack of inner peace, a lack of outer peace, these all cause suffering. When you understand that, you can do something about that suffering. I'd like to thank everyone who's bought me a coffee at buymeacoffee.com/cryptotradingks. I love reading your messages and your heartfelt gratitude. It's really beautiful. Thank you so much. Okay, let's get into it. Rule 174. Trend, timing and trigger. We're going to look at timing using the KS method. To start, we want to get a little bit of a news sentiment analysis. So we look at headlines and try and figure out if the average person would say they're positive or negative. Citi considering Bitcoin futures trading for some institutions. Oh, that's pretty cool. TA. Oh, what's TA? Why Bitcoin price is signaling more downside below? Ooh. Oh, it's a red picture. It's got a... What's that? Is it a bear in there? Nasdaq with Bitcoin back at 50,000. Consider these cryptos. Oh, it's very good. That must be fantastic. If I got to consider, it must be going up. Remittance costs key to take up of Salvadorian Bitcoin plan. Ooh, yeah, that's really interesting. That must be a positive. MicroStrategy adds another 177 million in Bitcoin. Whoa, fantastic. Well done, MicroStrategy. Today, UK news. Bitcoin hash rate triples. Ooh, that must be good. In a recovery from China syndrome. Ooh, China syndrome, what's that? Look at the hash rate. Bitcoin is so happy. Ooh, fantastic. MicroStrategy now holds 5.3 billion in Bitcoin. Ooh, that's a really happy sailor. Happy camper. Bitcoin comes to UK PayPal, but not for payments? Oh, I thought PayPal was a payments thing. Okay. Does crime pay? Hackers return stolen Bitcoin. Oh, hackers return. They're not getting paid. Well, a couple of days ago they were getting paid. Kraken donates 250,000 to open source Ethereum developers. Oh, that's very positive. We can see basically, except for this red bear here, things are pretty positive. So let's check out asset substitutability or investment substitutability. The proxy for stocks, S&P 500 up 30%. Poor old gold down 7%, but that's better than what it was. Bitcoin up 317% for the year. Wow, that's quite an increase, isn't it? We always dig really deeply in our community to try and understand if there's actual price momentum, volume momentum behind different things. Looking at Bitcoin futures open interest across all exchanges, we notice this very strong correlation between increased prices and increased open interest. Open interest is actually increasing. That's not bad. As we go up here, it's going up as well. That's very good. That supports upward price movements. But we know price is always moving in a wave. It's going up and down, up and down, up and down. Another essential thing for us to analyze is the flow of stable coins into Bitcoin. Bitcoin is basically the number one crypto. Well, it is the number one crypto. It's important to understand what's happening there. We can see stable coins are flowing into Bitcoin. This is a really positive sign. We don't expect it can go on forever. We're going to get a dip, but that's okay. That's all part of the process. Looking at crypto total market cap, the market is $2.032 trillion. 24-hour liquidations were 444.7 million, occurring across 121,473 traders. Over the past 12 hours, 93.2% of liquidations were long. Looking at Binance derivatives, 24-hour trading volume was 76.9 billion, with 11.5 billion in open interest. Bitcoin, -3%. Ethereum, -5%. In terms of the change in the price of the contract over the past 24 hours, SXP is getting derivative open interest, 12.8%, CTK, 24.7%, and RSR, 15.8%. Apart from those, not much green in the market at the moment. Let's have a look at Bitcoin's Fear and Greed Index, futures, open interest, and the stability of Tether as a stablecoin. Currently, the market has gone from 79, extreme greed, down to 73. We can also see the futures are remaining, put-call ratio is remaining at 0.61. The futures, the perpetual, is still short as well. total open interest in the options, Bitcoin options, has increased a little bit from 36,749.1 up a little to 36,805.8. Max pain is still 42,000. That's this red line here. Looking into Tether and understanding if it's got any problems, open interest for the perpetual and open interest for traditional futures are remaining stable. There's no problems whatsoever there. A lot of people in the community reached out and said, Ken, where do I obtain this particular chart from? I've actually built it up by hand. There is no indicator that you can get for this. It's just me putting a lot of data in here to help you understand how Bitcoin is moving more effectively. Bitcoin is currently 25.68% away from its all-time high. Turning now to Ethereum, we can see from the blockchain center the flippening has not occurred. Market cap is currently 41.2% ETH to Bitcoin. Ethereum is 31.37% away from its all-time high. The perpetuals today are short. The put-call ratio has slightly increased to 0.83. Total open interest has also increased to 237,008. $286 million has been burnt according to EIP 1559. We note here that the relative strength of Ethereum is decreasing currently. The max pain level is still $2,800. Rule 307, excitement is a delayed fill. You'll be getting a lot of excitement today with those buy orders that's just hanging around sunbaking by the pool, waiting for price to come to it. I've heard in the community, some people have been very excited. They're getting their buy orders filled. Looking now for the top 7, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Cardano, Binance Coin, Tether, XRP, and DOGE. The top 24-hour percent gainers are Zen, Quant, AVAX, XMM, MDX, and 2 stablecoins. Just pay attention to the fact that they're stablecoins near the top of the 24-hour percent gainers. For the last 7 days, greatest percent gainers are AVAX, ADA, Swissborg, TEL, Dash, Luna, and Atom. The greatest losses over the past 24 hours, TEL, Swissborg, Solana, Ontology, Engine Coin, Theta, and Phantom. Greatest losses over the past 7 days, Celsius, SHIB, Compound, HT, YFI, Sushi, and Doge. It's always important to keep in mind Rule 45, no alt can escape Bitcoin's gravity. Let's zoom in using Rule 172. I have a bit of fun for you today. This is on a weekly chart, so all of these are the top 8 on a weekly basis. We can see Bitcoin being supported quite well up here. Let's have a look and see what happens to price. Ethereum, positive air there on top of that support. That's very good. ADA, positive air as well. BNB, the same. XRP coming back, retesting that and resuming off. Doge cut that support on the weekly. Having a look at DOT reinforced that support, came down and touched it. Sol doing really well. It's gone up very, very quickly. A community member reached out to me and said, Ken, what's all this happening with the shorts and the longs, and what does it all mean? One way you can understand the association between different variables, because that's really what the question is about, is to zoom out using the 1 week pattern for Bitcoin and Ethereum. Looking at the shorts, Bitcoin is going up. The shorts are coming down. Look at this spike recently in the short behavior. If we look at the Bitcoin longs, they've passed over resistance and increasing. A bit of a sell-off recently. We look to Ethereum, what are we seeing? An uptrend, which is opposite to Bitcoin. This is one of the really tough things. And when you look at the longs in Ethereum, they're basically bananaing. They're all over the place. It's sometimes very difficult to understand exact associations. You've got Ethereum and Bitcoin both coming up, yet the shorts are going different directions on either of them. And you have a look at the longs. Yes, definitely the longs increase substantially in Ethereum and then they drop like a brick. It's really interesting. We'll keep on looking more into this as we progress. Returning to the top 8, we're going on a 3-day basis. This is Bitcoin. We see it coming back to support. Ethereum is at support. Cardano is a long way away from 3-day support. Binance Coin coming back to support. We look at XRP. XRP is doing really well on the 3-day. It's coming back to support. DOGE has just broken through that first 3-day support, which would mean it would be coming down to potentially test this lower support. Having a look at DOT. DOT is maintaining its upward support line very, very well, and Sol is showing so much power. Now zooming in even more, we're on the 1-day chart now. I've just taken the background off because it got too busy. Let's look at Bitcoin's price. We can see price is just a little bit below this support, but not too far away. Ethereum holding the support quite well. When we look at Cardano, look, Cardano is totally partying. It has 3 levels of support, 1, 2, 3. It's holding the 3rd so far. Looking at Binance Coin, 1, 2, 3 levels of support, holding the 3rd. We look at XRP, 1, 2, it's just lost its 2nd level of support. We look at DOGE. Unfortunately, DOGE has been a bit weak recently. It has 1, 2 levels, but it broke that level. That is quite substantial weakness. We look at DOT, it's holding this support incredibly well. Sol is absolutely partying hard. Let's dive down even further to the 8-hour. We're looking at that support line. It's looking quite good. We've got a bit of a weakening on the 8-hour with Ethereum. Cardano is still way above its support. Binance is testing its support. XRP has dropped below the 8-hour support line. DOGE has dropped below on weakness. We can see DOT drop below, but it's trying to come back and get over it. Haha, DOT, get her over it. Sol is a long, long way away from support. Rule 302, we're going to study the top. We have around 10,000 members in our community, and people really want their favorite and beloved alts analyzed as we go through this. I think you know that it would be a really, really long session if we did that. I always try to pick out the most requested alts. If you have an alt that you would like me to go through, I'm really happy to do it. You need to get a lot of people just supporting you with that. It's really important. Another thing to understand, I can't always just analyze an alt the very next episode. These alts take a lot of time to mark up and do properly. I know that a lot of other channels don't mark up their charts, but I take a lot of pride, I guess, in putting charts together with as many lines as I can put in. It just really depends. Sometimes I want to show you a chart without lines to train your eye, but generally I mark them up quite extensively. If you're new to our community, please have a look at episode 93, Drawing Structural Support and Structural Resistance. I mark up a chart from absolute scratch and I don't assume any knowledge on your part. It's quite an interesting video to have a look at. It helps you a lot, and you don't have to go out and buy indicators as well. Because when you go through something like this, you'll understand how to draw lines like I draw lines on the chart. It's really useful. Episode 104, How to Read Crypto Thumbnail Charts, is also quite useful to you. It's a really neat skill to have. Looking over the top 15 for the past fortnight, Luna is at the top, followed by Sol, ADA, XRP, BNB, DOT, MATIC, DOGE, XLM, Bitcoin Cash, Ethereum Classic, Bitcoin, Link, Litecoin, ETH, and Uni. Having a look at Bitcoin's technical analysis, Bitcoin is currently trading at 47,964. It's literally just above the support level of 47,819. It has support below 47,206, 46,566, 45,830, 45,268, and psychological level of 45,000. We're keeping our eye on this particular resistance line. That is the most important line we're after at the moment. We can see that Bitcoin's price has been quite weak recently. There's a lot of negative air on that side of that resistance line. Let's have a look and see how things go. We have another support line coming into play down here that will probably hit price at around 47,206. We also have upward trending support lines coming into play around that 47,206 mark as well. We have another few lines of support coming into play at about 46,566. We know the price is always moving in a wave. This is neither here nor there to us. We know we're in the right cycle path, so it's going to be choppy on the way to the top. If you haven't had a chance to look at the trend video, that would be really advisable. Looking at Ethereum's technicals, we see Ethereum currently trading at 31.65. It's just above support at 31.30. Lower levels of support 30.87, 29.88, 29.13, 28.48. We can see Ethereum is being influenced by Bitcoin's gravity. You can see here Bitcoin's fingerprint. See how it plays out on Ethereum almost to the cent. It is a really powerful force. JDM from the community asked the question, how do I reposition my buy orders, my limit buys? I've just popped in pretend buys here. So each arrow could be a buy order for X dollars. Always be careful about your transaction fees when you're doing this. Now, if you looked at something like this and said, oh, this one is too far away, why don't I move it up? Absolutely, you can do that. That's not a problem at all. You can do anything that you think is reasonable and probabilistic. You could also do that a slightly different way. You can say, instead of moving that up, maybe it's $1,000 for example, or 2,000 or whatever it is, it doesn't matter, so long as the transaction fees are not killing you in the process. Say it was $1,000. There's nothing wrong with putting a $500 buy limit there and a $500 buy limit just below it, just in between supports. That is fine. That is what I tend to do if I really want to participate in the trade. Sometimes I just really don't care and I just leave them down there as low as they can go. Prices are always whipping around in crypto. Crypto is so volatile, it just generally destroys stops. It is a big problem, and that's why you have to be really careful with how you buy. Buying at spot, which means buying with the money that you have, no leverage, is a really, really good thing. If you get into leverage, which is fine if you know what you're doing, but if you get into leverage, you can be stopped out very, very quickly, and anything that you've made can be all given back. Turning now to Cardano. Cardano is currently trading at 273.47, support below 264.11, 257.44, 2,500, 247.00, 240.37, 232.70. It's really interesting when you look at ADA's price. It was going up so strongly, people thought, wow, this thing is going to the moon. We know in this community, price is always moving in a wave, and we're not fast because that's how we layer into a trade. That lowers your average buy price. Instead of buying at the top, you can buy more cheaply, which actually increases your overall profitability. Now, what I've done with this particular line here, this second line, is I've cloned that initial first line and just dragged it down to reflect the support happening in here. That would be a reasonable target. The other thing that we want to do is to look at the resistance level. The resistance level from a tight perspective needs to get across that line. In other words, we need to see price trading above $2.80, and especially if it gets to $2.87 and above, it should self-reinforce on its way back up. I hope that helps. Buying layers is a method to defeat fear. In our community, we're all about being probabilistically fearless. Looking to Binance Coin, BNB is currently trading at 480.26. It's above support at 468.86. Lower levels of support 457.91, 445.46, 432.44, and 421.40. I just drew a quick resistance line there for you. You can see price is starting to get above that resistance. We notice also here positive air above that particular support line. That's a really good thing. We've drawn that up to basically touch this bottom, this second higher low. Very good. I think BNB could rally. But we always have to keep our eye on Bitcoin. We know no alt can escape Bitcoin's gravity. Looking at XRP, XRP is currently trading at 1.1508, just above support at 1.1438. It's very interesting. If you look at XRP, it's starting to gravitate around this support line. That's a low, that's a higher low there. We're seeing positive price pressure coming into XRP currently. That's quite a good sign. What we need to see is technical repair. If we draw a line between these peaks, you can see that we're a little way off from actually getting positive again, resuming the trend. But it's not bad overall. XRP support levels below 1.1123, 1.0780, 1.0503, 1.0224. As we saw from the higher level technicals, DOGE has been quite weak. It's not been able to encounter or overcome this particular resistance line. When it does, I believe DOGE will absolutely party. DOGE is currently trading at 28.886. It's above support at 27.989, 26.874, and 25.735. Polkadot is currently trading at 25.763. It has support below 25.639, 25.313, 24.936, and 24.302. We can see a bit of a confluence of support here below its current price. Let's see what happens. When I look at this chart, the thing I look at is this resistance coming up through these peaks here. It will come into play at around 27.542 for Polkadot. If Polkadot can get up to that 27.90 mark, it's going to do quite well because it will have overcome this resistance. MATIC is currently trading at 1.49.544. It's above support at 1.48.574. When I look at this chart, what I see is this resistance playing in here, a secondary level of resistance playing down here. If we look at the negative air under those resistance lines, quite a sell-off occurred recently, and we saw that same sell-off in Bitcoin. We really need to see MATIC's price, Polygon's price, get up to this 156.180 mark to know that that has actually repaired. We would expect to break through a retest and a resumption. That would be the most probabilistic outcome. While price remains below, it's just a really good dollar cost averaging focus. Let's have a look at Theta's technicals. Theta is currently trading at 7.162. When I look at this chart, I see a level of resistance. Once support turned to resistance because price is below that now. It came down hard. Price retraced very significantly because Bitcoin's price did. And we always know that no alt can escape Bitcoin's gravity. This is realistically what it means. But this is a much healthier chart than a lot of the others. You can see that this resistance was overcome quite a while ago. It's really this resistance we want to get above, and that price would be around, say, the $750 mark. Looking at Link is currently trading at 26,282. There's two particular lines I want to draw your attention to. One is this upward support here. The other, well, it's basically that support is supporting the current price at 26,281. The other line is the resistance line through here. When the price of Chainlink gets above 28,627, that is going to become quite interesting. Just keep your eye open for that. Let's have a look at Icon, ICX, a real community favorite. We see this particular line of resistance. ICX is currently trading at 143.40. This line of resistance is really important to get across. When Icon starts trading at around the $1.50 mark, it's going to look pretty good for Icon. The other thing to take note is this very, very strong support line coming up here. We would expect the price of ICX to get supported around this particular very strong support line. That will probably come into play around, say, the 132 mark. I hope that helps. Another thing that I see in Icon's chart, it's quite spiky. You see these spikes going up and down, up and down. It tends to move very quickly, both in an upward direction and a downward direction. And we know price is always moving in a wave, but these spikes you can really take advantage of. If I was trading into Icon, I don't have any positions in Icon. If I was trading in, I would set my buy orders low because I would want to try and grab one of these spikes. People may get phased out with Bitcoin. If that's the case, that's fantastic because we're in the right stage of the cycle. Fantastic to slurp up all these buy orders. Just a little piece of insight. When I look at this chart, that's what I see. A lot of spikes. You can use those dramatically for your benefit. I hope you found the content useful. Please consider sharing this video if you think it will help others. Thank you to our moderators and admins for keeping our community safe from scammers. Please say hi and let me know where you're viewing from, and if you have any questions. If you would like price updates on movements in the crypto market, please subscribe to YouTube. Don't forget the bell notification because these videos come out at strange times during the day and night. You can also join us on Facebook and follow me on Twitter. I've left details in the description of this video. Please remember, crypto is volatile. Always prepare yourself for the best and worst case scenarios. Reality will likely be between them. Stay safe out there, take care, and see you next time. Bye for now.